Hey everybody, I wanted to give you a quick preview of what's going to be coming in the next release. I've been working really hard with trying to satisfy some source control integration. So this first version is going to include GitHub integration, and the way you do it is you go to your user profile. You now under user settings have a source control. Right now there's only GitHub, but you would choose GitHub, pass in your user, and then get an access token. If you don't know where that is, we can jump over and I can show you. If you go down to under your profile, I think it's under your profile. So if you look at your profile or settings, actually, let me do that again. If you go to settings, and then you go down here to personal access tokens, and I have FrontEnd Creator Git personal access token, but you can create a new token, give it a name. What FrontEnd Creator really needs is the ability to manage your repos, as well as if you want delete, it has the capability of deleting them. Obviously you can do other things, but this is all really what it's trying to do, is just manage the repo. So once you create that, you'll only be able to grab the token once it's generated. Like you saw, once you go back to the tokens, it's not going to show it to you, so you'll have to remember and save it someplace so that you can use it. But after you have that set up, you put it in here, you hit save. It's going to go ahead and save it to your user profile, and then it's going to tell you you're going to need to log out. So you'll need to log out in order for it to pick it up from our authentication process so that it's part of your user profile. So we're going to go ahead and do that really quick and log out. But now that we have that, when we come back in, we can now basically go to any of our projects and then simply right click it, and there'll be a commit. We hit commit, and what it's going to do when I do this is it actually is well, let me click it first. It actually is pulling all the data from that project, as well as pulling everything from your GitHub repository, your Git account, to ensure that everything is in the right, so that the repo doesn't already exist. And if it doesn't exist, it will actually create it for you. If it does exist, then what it's going to do is automatically, there it goes. So it's hitting creating repository, it's adding the files, it's going to commit those changes, it's going to push the changes, and then it's let us know that the sync has been completed. It's a little slow just because it's actually going through all of your projects in GitHub to ensure that the name doesn't match one of the project names that we have here. Right now I'm just using the same convention of whatever project name that you provided. That is what it's going to create. So if I go back to my Git account, and I think if I can just go back here and look at my repositories, you'll see that data sample was just created, and it has everything that was in my source control. So what I'm going to do is I have this version 3. This is pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and modify that just so that we can see that that things are actually updating. So let me go in here, go to data sample, and go to my app.js, and I may just say yet another change in my code or something. It could be anything, but more than anything else, I just want to show you that it works. So I'm saving it, and then I'll just right click and say commit. And again, this is going to go through the whole process of first validating that they didn't match. Since it didn't have to create a repository, it didn't do that, but now it's trying to sync. If I go here and click on this again just to refresh, it now shows 10 seconds ago. If I go into my source, go into app, since it shows that 14 seconds ago, and here we go, picks it right up. So hopefully you guys can see pretty much how easy it is for you just to be able to manage source control just by picking out. Again, I'll probably add Bitbucket and GitHub, any others that you guys can think of that are pretty simple. I'm just using Azure Functions to wrap the whole API for GitHub, and I'll do the same thing with all the others that I extend out further. But well, there you go. So hopefully, I'd love to hear your feedback, what you guys think about it. I know that being able to have some form of source control integration has been something you guys have been wanting for a while. So I'm really happy to be able to announce this. Again, it doesn't do any type of merge conflicts or anything else like that. So as we move forward, maybe we can make it a little bit more advanced. But right now, it'll basically track everything that you do within FrontEnd Creator, and then be able to sync it up with sync those changes within your GitHub repository. All right, thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your feedback.